Okay. All right. So I'll just start with the invocation and a brief introduction. ॐ परब्रह्मणे विद्महे शिवतत्त्वाय धीमहि तन्नो मोहनः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ परब्रह्मणे विद्महे शिवतत्त्वाय धीमहि तन्नो मोहनः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ परब्रह्मणे विद्महे शिवतत्त्वाय धीमहि तन्नो मोहनः प्रचोदयात्. Okay, welcome everyone. Good evening. I'm Jai Mohanji. I'm Runa, and I'm here today at the Mohanji Center of Benevolence in Virginia, USA, hosting our 5th episode of the experience sharing in the transformation series. So the intention of these interactions that we have with the different Mohanji family members is so that we can connect with those people who've been deeply connected to Mohanji for a long time, walking on the Raja Yoga path, and also to be inspired from them and their transformative journeys. So today we have a very special family member. We have Elly. Welcome, Elly. Welcome. Elly is from Los Angeles, as many of you may already know. And she is a Mohanji Acharya. She moved from the Middle East in 2014 to the United States and has been living here, practicing Mohanji's teachings, leading by example by living a conscious life. So she truly embodies being a Mohanji Acharya. And she moved here with her husband Farshad, and we're very grateful today to have you here share your journey, your transformation, your connection with Mohanji. So again, I am very, very grateful that you gave your time here with us today.
I am thankful.
Okay, so why don't I first start by asking you, Elly, what does Mohanji mean to you?
First of all, Jai Mohanji, and hello everyone. I'm very, very grateful to be here. I am very thankful to Rona and MCB USA team for inviting me for this interview. I'm very grateful. Thank you. Can you please repeat your question, Rona?
Yes, I wanted to ask you, what does Mohanji mean to you?
It's definitely very difficult to speak about Mohanji. He's not an, even though maybe he seems very ordinary, like another person, a man, but to me, it's not. There's a much more depth into it. If you're just not getting illusioned with his physical form, and just by observing him, I feel him as Parabrahma himself. That many maybe different aspects of God can be revealed through him. As he says, he is like an empty pot that tradition fills him in each situation based on the need of that moment. But how I experience him is like completely dissolved into supreme consciousness, and there is no personal agenda. And most importantly, I think anyone had any encounter with Mohanji will know that there is no ego, there is no mind. This is something that can be recognized very easily. Anyone, I believe, can claim that they are master, but in attitude, in some situation, you can see that more clearly if ego plays there or not. Like one thing that is very interesting to me, like when people like touching Mohanji's feet, you cannot see any trace of any ego in his face. How much with that much of love and compassion he's looking at people, and that much energy he's passing during that time shows that there is no ego there. And for me, this was a very big sign to know that how true he is. You are mute, Rona.
Thank you. I wanted to ask you, how long has it been since you've connected to him, and when did you become an Acharya?
Um, we came to US in February 2014, and we faced me and my husband Farshad faced um, very difficult challenges. Maybe I should say this before going to
Mhm.
how we became an acharya, because this is the basement of how all this thing happened. um, like coming to US, we had so many dreams, and even though before we were looking for spirituality, practicing, and especially Kriya Yoga was our main interest. But when we came to US, we had also this dream to continue our education, both of us, and we were prepared for that. But the destiny, had another plan, and we were betrayed with one of the very close relatives of mine, and then we basically lost everything that we like kind of counting on it to get to that dream. So in a matter of 3 months, we completely came to like a zero, not about just financial thing, but about everything else, not having anybody here, completely new country. And so I'm coming from Middle East and Iran, and system completely different, even not knowing how to get a boss. It just everything is different. So it was very challenging, and we had to start from under zero, and it was not easy. So because we had position back home, we had just that financial support and strength, like that's having making that what Mohanji is speaking about, the position, possession, and also relation. We had all those things there, and now coming for to improve all these things, but suddenly you lost everything. It was very difficult. It was a big ego bashing, especially for me, um, to to coming to this situation. So it was very tough. Definitely my faith on God was very shaken. I cannot say even my faith was very strong before, even though I was practicing spirituality, and before that I was very religious as well. But coming to this situation, I was really shaken to my roots. I remember that I was crying all the time. Even I was working or not, I was crying. It's like, what happened, and it's like there is no hope, there is no light at the end of the tunnel. there was nothing, and I was feeling that I am trapped and I cannot do anything, and there was no way going back, no way for forward, just here. And those days, I was searching. I could not sleep even well, and I was searching for, because Kriya Yoga was the only thing I knew, like through Yogananda's book. And then I was searching for Kriya Yoga master. And one night I was very disturbed, and then suddenly it was, I believe, around October 2014, and like few months after we came to US. And then what popped up there, it was a flyer of Mohanji Satsang on Facebook. And it was very interesting because it was a Thursday when I saw this flyer, and it was saying that on Sunday Mohanji is going to have a satsang. But Sunday we both were working. I could not, it was like working for survival. It was not like, okay, one day we cannot go. There was no such option. So then there was a number there, which was Lata Ganesh number. And I called and said, we would like to meet the master. And she said, okay, you can come to the satsang, but the satsang was much far. I believe it was like somewhere like around Dana Point, somewhere like that. And we said, okay, we cannot come and we are working. She said, okay, let me check with him. And she checked with Mohanji himself, and he agreed to meet us 1 hour in the lobby of his hotel. And it was such blessing, because we know that it's not easy to get a master time, and that even privately. So we had a good understanding about this, even though we didn't know Mohanji much. So in the hotel, when we were waiting and he came, it was such familiarity. It's like we know him for so long time, and there is deep connection. And people, I remember, ran towards him and just jump on him and just hugging him. And with so much love and kindness, he sat there and just answering each question one by one. And from there, our life really transformed. It started changing very deeply, inside and outside. Life started getting better, easier, smoother. And my suffering reduced more and more every day. And even though we didn't have the chance to travel to meet him for 4 years after that, but through his blogs, his YouTube videos, and I remember maybe a couple of times also it happened like on the Zoom. And through dreams even, he was working on us. Like dreams, it was like, okay, there is a retreat, we are there, he's speaking, we are taking notes. And it was not like dreams. He knew that, okay, we cannot travel, but we are thirsty for it. And he was delivering in that way. So this was like, I can say that I have not received such support from anyone in my life before, and even now. Sorry if it was very long. We don't have you or your voice.
Apologies. You said so many things that really stood out for me, especially the last thing that you mentioned about being thirsty. And I think that that's why, Mohanji, you probably only recognize that, and that's why you said which is true. It's hard to get an interaction with a master, especially somebody like Mohanji. But I think that thirst in you, and I think that's why I wanted to ask you, was it instantaneous, that connection with Mohanji? And if it was instantaneous, following that, was it always smooth? You were just always connected? Or have you faced challenges in that connection? Because I'm curious to understand how did you arrive to where you are today? Because I know you're deeply connected. So, if you can share something about that, what that connection looked like for you, and how do you still maintain that connection? So, two parts, was that connection instantaneous? Would you have challenges in your journey with that connection, and how do you maintain that?
The connection, I can say it was at the moment. It was, as I say, it was like we knew him from before. It's not like something new, meeting someone who is new. And the other thing is, it was like for 13 years before meeting Mohanji, um, kind of, I was exploring in spirituality, um, not going to different masters, but looking for my guru, and practicing different things, even different healing methods. And I remember the last master before Mohanji, we were going to his classes back in my country. So I had big respect for him. Definitely, he did so many things and um, opened up, my mind about so many things, like about my blockages, understanding, okay, there is blockages. But I always like looking for someone that is my guru. I was not feeling that with anybody. But when we met Mohanji, even in that 1 hour in the hotel, I felt he's our guru. There was no second thought. There was no question. There was nothing. Okay, he's the guru. Just we need to start connecting deeper and maintaining that, understanding his teachings, what he's saying and what is the practices. I remember we started immediately practicing power of purity meditation, which definitely there was a big cleansing for us. And and also the other thing is his words, at least to my opinion, has the power of the universe. It's in it. It's not like just he's saying something. When he says, it has the power to get manifested. So the connection was instant, but this maintaining, I believe, connection is not like one point. It's not like I can say, okay, I am connected and that's it. No, the connection has different levels. We connect more and more and more each time. After each incident that happens in life, each challenge that is happening, and we go through with faith, like after that, there is some level up. I believe, and I believe, the last level of connection is when there is no separation. Means there is no mind to separate me from him. Like thinking that, okay, there is Elham and there is Mohanji. So then the connection, we had to improve it, to work on it, to make it deeper. And definitely this is not easy, because of mind and ego. So this story of this a very unfortunately I don't remember his name now. Oh, it's like Bastami, Sheikh Bastami is an like an uh, avatuta in our culture, from Iran. He was practicing to get one with supreme consciousness, and he came to a point that, let's say, God started talking to him and asking him, okay, what do you want? And he said, you. And then there was no voice, no more voice from God. And he understood he made a big mistake. So wanting something and saying, I want you, means there is separation. Still, there is no oneness. So then he practiced several more years, very hard. So again, the voice came, what do you want? There was no more him to answer even. He already dissolved. So I believe that connection, deepening the connection, needs to continue until we come to a point that um, we don't think we exist. Only he exists only. And for that, Mohanji speaks about it. He says the best kind of way to practice it in this Kali Yuga, which even practicing meditation, chanting, anything can be very difficult because mind is very, very distracted. The only thing is just remember, just remembrance of the God, Guru, or whoever anyone is connected to. By remembering that, the connection can get deeper and deeper. And definitely there is challenges. I think no one can say until the mind is there, the ego is there, everyone has challenge. Because the mind plays its game for sure, and trying to pull us down. But um, it's like a constant practice, especially when challenges come, when things happen that you should choose between two, your path, your guru, and something else. When people trying to challenge your belief, it's definitely a very critical situation. But when still we um, hold on onto our faith, into our in our conviction, and in our guru, definitely after that there is some boost in that connection. Manji says that it's like an monkey, a baby monkey cannot reach to the those top of the tree because it's very weak and small. But if the baby stick to the mother monkey take it to the highest. So it's same about the guru. And I believe if we just stick to Mohanji, just keep the faith and conviction in any situation that happens, doesn't matter what it is, doesn't matter if it's about material world, it's about, because everything is a challenge, and and also everything is illusion here in this world, then we can reach the highest.
Wow, actually, you've just said so many powerful things here. Um, I just wanted to mention, firstly, thank you for mentioning and giving an example of a story from an Avaduta in Iran, because, I feel like, including myself, we always just hear as if there is only saints in India, but it's really nice to hear these kind of powerful stories of masters from other countries. So, it's not just in India, we have examples everywhere. And I think that story that you shared really touched me. And also for mentioning the different levels of connection, that's something maybe I didn't pay attention to, have not thought of. So that was very helpful for me, that it's not one point and that point keeps moving as you grow in your own connection. And the final connection, which actually is synonymous with this whole transformation series. Transformation, I know, I was reading up what Mohanji said is transformation. He said is basically when you reach that state of emptiness, no thought, which is basically you become one with that source that you think you're seeking. Um, so that's very, very beautiful. Thank you. I'm curious, by the way, do people from the Middle East, connect to Mohanji differently? I know you work with a lot of them. Do they connect differently for maybe people in the West or others that you know?
I believe they connect with more ease, because they already under so much of pressure. Um, no, as Manji says, no freedom of mind, going around, do whatever they want to do. So then when the pressure from the outside, he says that when there is pain, usually people come to spirituality. So I believe that's why, they can get connected to him much easier and much faster, because they already experienced so much of pressure, so much of not having freedom of what they want to choose. So, and Mohanji is like a very powerful light for them. They can feel it. So Mohanji is doing so much work there. It's not like just I know people. Sometimes I hear from Mohanji that, oh, okay, people in Iran are connecting to me much. And like, even I remember once he was telling me, I knew this girl in Iran who is doing Act Seva there as well. And she's such a pure soul. And um, then Mohanji, when he came to US in 2022, he told me that, yeah, there is one girl is connecting to me very deeply. I feel her a lot. And I told her the name of the girl because I knew her. He confirmed, he said, yeah, she is. And in this girl didn't have any like physical connection with Mohanji, not meeting her anywhere so far, not even talking to him on Zoom or anything like that. So this shows connection is not about anything about physical connection, like going and meeting Mohanji. He says, so many people who are around me and with me physically, they are not with me because their mind is somewhere else. And people who are miles away, 1,000 miles away, they are connected to me. So then this connection I feel with people in Middle East is very much deeper because they already kind of um, very much either disappointed or disconnected from this outside world. They don't have the freedom to do much thing. Then they turn to, and they have definitely so much pain. There is so much pain and like unpleasant experiences, which always, most of the time, lead people to a spirituality, not always for sure. I think so many people who are connected to Mohanji came to Mohanji when they had some incident in their life or like some pain. And so in that way, I feel they connect very deeply. And really, it's amazing to hear different stories of them, like, very small child, like 5, 6 years old, sitting in front of Mohanji's picture and chanting his mantra, even he doesn't know it well. So this is very touching for sure.
Ellie, what would you say is the most prominent transformation that you have experienced since connecting to Mohanji?
Now I think I should speak about becoming a Mohanji Acharya now. I believe that was a really huge transformation for me. Which at the beginning I didn't know even what that means to become a Mohanji Acharya. Like, just Lata Ganesh suggested me to become an Acharya, and me and Farshad both. And without, okay, even we didn't ask what that means. We said, okay, we will. And then we went to the training. And the training was very powerful. Each Acharya training that Mohanji conducted was very powerful. And there was the presence of tradition that felt very powerfully. And this archery training for us, which was the last one for level 1, and it happened on October 2019, which was very interesting to me because mm, many of my powerful experiences with Mohanji happened always on October. I don't know for what reason. But then, this training became very powerful. So many details is there that I'm not sure if I can say it now, but I really suggest people to go and meet, read this Guru Lila. I believe it's like Guru Lila 5. That I wrote everything there, and it's not about me at all. It's really not about me, and it's not about my experience. It's about who is Mohanji, who is tradition, how powerful they are. Maybe sometimes just hearing that, oh, there is a tradition, there is like masters like Shri Sai Baba, Lord Datta, Babaji. It seems maybe sometimes so too far and not tangible. But in that Acharya training, um, they came, they revealed themselves, they revealed who is Mohanji, and how blessed we are on the top of everything, how blessed we are to know him, to even he knows us, he call our name. These are not really simple and small things. So it was just a very formating experience, that Acharya training. I remember that after that, me and Farshad life had a big turn, very big turn, and everything kind of changed as purpose oriented. Not much about personal matters. Maybe it's like very difficult for some people to understand, especially maybe like some of our friends and like even family, that like, how come you just doing all this thing, not doing anything else? Yeah, but for us, it's like this is very natural. This is what we should do. There is no other way to live.
You know, my something that I wanted to ask you, and I feel like it ties really well, so I'm going to ask you at this point, is surrender is something, we hear a lot about in the spiritual path. So I feel as a Mohanji Acharya, even as a Maitri practitioner, I think that's one of the key ingredients, surrender, becoming completely empty. I want to hear from you what that experience has been for you, especially over the years, whether it's through being an Acharya or a Maitri practitioner.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely surrender is not easy for ego. Ego always think that, okay, I'm in charge. I am doing this, I am doing that. As I told you at the beginning, when we came to US and all those things happened, it was a big ego bashing for me. Like I was working and people coming saying so many bad words to me, that like in our culture, respect in communication is just very important. And I was getting that much annoyed and just crying that why they're saying these words to me. But gradually, that time was the time that I was reading Mohanji's blog, and it speaks as well, that he said, if someone telling you like donkey, if you get frustrated and annoyed, it means that this is ego involved. So it's like that person problem if sees you as a donkey, they don't have that understanding. So you shouldn't be worried about it. And then the practicing all this thing gradually, um, gave me this understanding that ego is not something that can help me. Then I started practicing surrendering everything to Mohanji. I'm saying surrendering to Mohanji rather than God, if we can differentiate it even, because connecting to some God that doesn't have any form, I believe is very difficult for the mind to understand. So that's why masters coming, gurus coming, so we can connect easier when there's a form, like how people easily connecting to Shri Sai Baba. We know that who he was. He was not like just in that body. He's existing even 100 years after he's not in the body anymore. So then I was connecting to Mohanji and surrendering to him, probably at the beginning, the surrender was from the mind, because um, after, like, problem happening, any issue happening, still I was concerned, even I was surrendering. I was thinking, okay, what to do, or getting anxiety. um, but it's like practice make it perfect. When you practice more and more, it's like mind's strength gets weaker and weaker, and then then your heart getting involved. Like, when you see, okay, I surrendered this problem, even though I was anxious about it, but miraculously it was solved, some solution came up, then your faith increases. Then next time you can surrender more easier, and also from heart. Then less analysis happening, less ownership happens. So then again, this is like connection. It is not one point, it's like level, and it's like continuous practice. And I believe we should not judge ourselves, thinking that, oh, I didn't surrender, I don't have that much faith. Um, this feeling guilty is not something that can help us. Just we need to accept, okay, I didn't surrender deeply, but I practice next time more. Like giving the opportunity to ourselves to um, practice this thing. It's not like we should not expect too much from ourselves.
Do you have a fun experience that you remember with Mohanji, or like a surprising incident that maybe you can share with us?
Uh, the first retreat that we went with Mohanji after 4 years, the first time that we met him was Machu Picchu in Peru. And there, so it was being with him physically for like several days was really amazing. It was just another um, level of connection. There I came to know about this power of him, that he can change the weather. It was just very interesting and surprising to me that, like, even this happened in Phoenix, Arizona. I believe you were there as well. That he just look at the clouds and just, okay, just go away, or okay, clouds coming, it's too hot. This is always so interesting. Definitely, there is so many different experiences on this. Um, because as soon as we came back from this first retreat with Mohanji, as soon as, I mean, exactly the next day, I lost my job, and it was very um, I could not even connect this to, I was not thinking about that. Oh, I met Mohanji, now I lost my job. I didn't think about it like that. But it was definitely very frustrating. So much fears, insecurities coming up, and that what to do, then why this happened. And then, it was interesting. On the last day that we were saying goodbye to him, he gave his personal email ID to me. Even I didn't ask. He said, if anything happened, you wanted to communicate with me, email me. And I said, okay. And I was very happy for it. So then when this happened, and then yeah, I wrote to him that this happened. And again, I was shaken very deeply. And then no response came. And understood that through Tina Arya, that he didn't even didn't see the email at all. So some follow-up happened, and he answered. He said, because of this acceleration in the an increase in the frequency, this happened because my workplace was very negative, full of negativity, negative people, and the energy was really bad. I barely could survive there. But so my salary was very good. But so I was in dilemma what to do. I should go, because there was opportunity for me to go back. But he made it very clear, don't look back, I will take care, don't worry. Several times he just sent me email just saying that don't worry about it. And even I didn't say anything. I am worried about financial part. I didn't say anything, but he said, don't worry. And really, he made it happen. Like financial thing in some miraculous way, got solved out.
Ellie, you're so lucky that in so many ways you've got to directly sort of hear those words from Mohanji. And um, I think more than lucky, I should say, it's the thirst in you. I think that's something that you even mentioned in the beginning, right? Like a lot of people from the Middle East, including yourself, at least that I know, really have that thirst. And that's what really keeps your connection strong. Sometimes it's these challenges. Um, so when you mentioned about the surrendering, right? Have you always felt like the feedback loop is what helps you? For example, like you said, you put that faith, you give a little surrender, then you see that it helps, and then that also helps increase your faith. But when there are times when you don't, and then you allow yourself to also not judge yourself and move forward with that. Um, how do you see that, especially when you're doing so many seva activities? I know, Ellie, that you're like most of your days engaged in doing some kind of service for others. So I'm curious whether it's through your surrendering or how it is that firstly you're able to engage in so much selfless activity, as well as Raja Yoga path is the path of awareness, right? So that's the path that Mohanji is sort of representing. Um, how has this aspect of surrendering as well as doing seva um, helped raise your awareness, your self-awareness, in the Raja Yoga path? I'm just curious because I know you are someone who's very selfless, apart from just even doing all the other activities formally. So I'm curious to hear what that life looks like for you.
First of all, I think um, I'm not doing anything for anyone really. As Mohanji says, whatever we do is for ourselves. Uh, I never think that, okay, I am helping anyone or like giving time to anybody, because I need to pay my debt. I need to pay for my karma. And also all these lifetimes that I lived on earth, I need to pay back. So then definitely I keep reminding myself that I don't do anything for anybody to be proud of or to feel that ownership that I am doing too, because without Mohanji, none of this was not possible. Like I remember so many years back in my country, and even after coming here, I was thinking I would like to help people. Maybe I was doing something very, very small. Like back in my country, I was feeding animals, like adopting a kid, but it was not into that extent that I really like. And I was keep thinking that what to do, how to do. Then, meeting Mohanji and then becoming a Mohanji Acharya, then the platform Mohanji gave me, that platform of Mohanji Foundation, ACT Foundation, and all other techniques and each platform gave me the opportunity to serve. I believe maybe many times we forget that if Mohanji was not there and not establishing these platforms, how could we serve? How could we lighten ourselves, our lineage? So, and also these platforms are because Mohanji established it, and like tradition is behind that. It's very pure, very pure. There is no impurity in it. And I believe his energy and tradition energy always there in each everything that we do. Like it's not like, oh, I could do this. I always say that I'm just wondering that how all this thing is happening, how he's opening the doors, how he's sending people. It's like a state of being wonder all the time, and being witness of his greatness is not like I do anything, first of all. Second, even I don't feel this is like selfless, because when we think it's selfless, it's like, oh, I am just sacrificing myself. I am just, but I am gaining. How I gain? I'm losing karma. I am losing so many things. Like he says, what you lose is is your gain. So I lost so much of fears, insecurities, anxiety. So like the person called Elly now, um, like if you compare it with 10 years ago, it's just completely a different person. Like so many of my friends even really get surprised. So this is it. And like for me, being blessed, having this opportunity to serve as, let's say, volunteer or even um, acharya is really a big blessing for me. I really enjoy. I really enjoy, because I am that tool, that instrument for Manji. It's him doing everything. I don't do it. If I had that ability to do anything, then definitely I would do it for myself before. But I could not, right? I could not do things. My life was completely fell apart. I couldn't put it back. It was Mohanji who came and made it happen.
Ellie, you mentioned purity, and this path is very pure. This tradition is pure. How would you say that we can be pure? What does even purity mean?
Yeah, I believe that purity in thoughts and intention is the most important and powerful thing. Because if that is pure, then anything else we say or we do is going to be pure. The source of all this thing is going to be pure. So pure means that there is no negative or selfish intention into it. There is no intention or thought of manipulation or like getting rewarded, getting recognition, any of these things. Like Manji himself is like an example of it. He always says that, it's not just saying, you can see, he always says, I practice, being insignificant. And you can see, like I remember meeting him in Kumbh Mela 2019. There was many different masters, and everyone like coming forward. There was a very big crowd, and everyone was coming forward for like being in front of the camera. Manji just was behind. He was not trying it. This is for me because I believe people's attitude and behavior more than their words, because this is the truth of their truth. It's not about words. It's not about preaching. It's about walk the talk, right? If I am saying correctly. So he's doing that. He's the example of that. When he talks about being selfless, he's the most selfless being in the whole universe. Just look at him. He's in pain, he's not well, and still he's fulfilling people's wishes to meet him, to talk to him. Even he cannot stand on his feet for so long time, still he's standing there talking to people. He's not complaining. Even you cannot see in his face that he's not well. So to me, he's an example living of God.
Ellie, I also feel you're very pure, so I think this is helpful coming from you. Um, I wanted to ask you, um, what do you feel is, firstly, a lot of people know you do Maitri. It's kind of, I don't want to say exactly healing technique, but it's a deep cleansing alignment process that Mohanji is sort of gifted. And I want to understand, because I know here many people are also wanting to hear stories or your experiences through Maitri. So anything that comes to your mind, whether it's transformation you've seen in other people or your own self when you do Maitri, curious to hear that, because that's, I know, a big part of also the work you do.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so I remember always I was very pulled towards healing. It started when my mom, like I believe 15, 16 years ago, she got sick and she got cancer. And I loved her so much. And she was one of the my big supporter. So I was looking for anything that can help and keep her here. So then I came to know about this um, healing methods and systems. So anyway, she did not survive, and I lost her. So I was feeling very lonely and not being understood with anybody. So then my journey started from there for spirituality and healing both. So I started learning different healing methods, and I really loved it. But I was feeling that they are not that much powerful that you say. Not on at the moment, not also on maintaining the that healing that happens. Always, I could see it's coming back. The issue again coming back. And it was, I believe, it was end of 2016, because before that, since people connecting to Mohanji and somehow some healing was happening. Then they started putting this in a structure, and Maitri came to this world and blessed us. And then immediately when I heard this came, I applied and approved and I started practicing. So maybe at the beginning it was like kind of, I remember before I was practicing Reiki, and that time also it was the Maitri was not existing that time, and I was connecting to Mohanji and I was doing Reiki for like 300 people online. And then so many, amazing things were happening, and um, things were shown to me, which never I had before. And then once I remember we had a satsang with Mohanji on Zoom from USA team. And then I told him this, and he said, yeah, I know that you connected to me and you did this. And it was very interesting to me. That's why when Maitri came, I stopped everything else, just doing Maitri, because I could see that Mohanji was protecting me. Before I was not protected when I was doing healing. But the Maitri was that much powerful that, first of all, protecting you and then doing that transformation for the people. So during the year, the connection was getting deeper, and also Maitri was getting more powerful as well. That it was him for sure. I don't claim anything about that. It's him doing anything, but I have been witness of people's life getting transformed very deeply, very powerfully in a matter of, I don't know, let's say 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month. Like people coming, and I remember this lady came and she was saying that, oh, I'm suffering from this issue more than 12 years. Many different healers and even Maitri practitioner worked and nothing changed. I don't know. Let's see, what do you do? I said, okay, but I'm not promising anything, but you need to have faith. If you think, okay, you are going to like experiment, that's not going to work in that way. So there was many challenges with her and so many up and downs. She had like black magic and different things, and some issue with the stomach that no doctor, nobody could figure it out. What is this? So after we worked for some time, and she started feeling better. And then at the end, like so many things she could not sleep on her own. It was like no sleeping was happening when she was alone. Then after all this Maitri, everything started improving for her, and she could say that, she was telling me that, okay, after 12 years now I can be myself and live my life as I want, which is definitely Mohanji's miracle, right? Like this, um, girl that she was like 21 years old girl, and she was singing. She liked to sing, but she was in the like college for science, and her parents pushing her to continue university as science and follow the singing as a like hobby. She was in dilemma. She didn't know what to do. She knew that her heart saying that okay, go for the singing, but she didn't have that self-confidence, self-trust and belief to just trusting her own heart and going with that. After and she was depressed and having some depression and some issue with the like relationship that was falling apart. And after healing, she had that much of clarity that she could stand up for herself and speaking up her truth with her family, even though it was very difficult because they said, oh, we may not support you and all those, but still she insisted. And now I am seeing that she's singing in on so many stages. It's really beautiful, you know. And she's following Mohanji. She's getting inspired from him, writing the poems, you know, based on Mohanji's teaching, and just so interesting.
Wow, that's incredible. Nobody would think, right? We sometimes just associate, oh, we're ill, or maybe something we can do Maitri, but it's more deeper than that. Or there are so many levels of why we have blockages. Some may show up as diseases, but some may be resistance or suppression of different things. So, um, have you also, Ellie, seen transformation within yourself when you do healing to others or Maitri to others? Or what has that been? And also, by the way, I know that Ellie, you have done Maitri on Mohanji also many times, especially when he's here in the US or probably other places too. So I don't know if there's something to share on that front also. Would love to hear.
Yeah, yeah, definitely transformation. Whatever, I believe one thing, like, you know, people who are coming for healing, Maitri, um, you know, so many times they need to do some seva, especially feeding. And I always suggest them to do it under Mohanji's platform, like ACT Foundation. Sometimes, many times, maybe they have resistance. Why we should do that? To my experience, just being witness of this, it's not like written on a stone, but I see that if people doing it under Mohanji's platform, the effect is multiplied. It's just so powerful. Like if like just an example, not really exact, but if someone needs to do like feeding to remove some of the heaviness in that way, and maybe they need to do, I don't know, for 1 year, but you know, under Manja's platform, it's just very fast. I have seen people could kind of resolve the karma of like some of the acts they have done, like abortion. If they have done something under ACT Foundation, like for 2 times for kids, it just, you know, it gets removed. It's that much powerful because Manji's energy is there, tradition supporting, and it's like very pure again. Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, it's interesting because I had this question to ask you, but then I just sort of let it pass, but you brought it up because I know you do a lot of seva, a lot of, like I've mentioned before, different things from feeding, doing programs, events. And I wanted to actually know, is there a difference between doing, let's say, seva in the Mohanji Foundation or doing some kind of service there or by yourself? Because we know that any kind of pure act of anything is all God's work. But I was curious, if that, in your experience, has there been something special doing it under the Mohanji Foundation? And you sort of answered that through this question for me,
Yeah.
that I think his energy and the tradition's energy sort of makes everything sort of super speed. Like everything, I suppose, when we come in touch with Mohanji, I feel like one thing that everybody commonly can agree with is the acceleration of everything. The good, the not so good, everything just gets like on rocket speed. Um, I know we're sort of past the 1 hour mark, but it's such a rare opportunity, Elly, to have you here with us. So I'm just taking advantage, and I hope it's okay with the others here. Maybe I had one other last question to just ask is, and before I open it up for anybody else to ask, Elly, is what do you think is the biggest gift that you received from Mohanji?
I believe to know that there is liberation, to knowing that there is something beyond this material world. Because I remember always I was very tired of life, not tired that, oh, I should do this and I should that. No, I was feeling repetition all the time. And I was thinking that, what else, Okay, like a study, going to university, getting a job and having get married, and then definitely like in our culture, always other people thinking, okay, what are you doing now? Okay, did you graduated? Did you get married? Okay, now do you have kids? Do you have the second kid?
Yeah, that's so common in our Eastern cultures, I suppose.
Yeah. So then I was thinking, okay, what's next? Then, okay, I get old and then I cannot do anything and then I pass away. Then it was just always thinking that it's so boring and so disappointing, basically. It was the first time I was hearing, okay, there is enlightenment, there is self-realization, but I never heard about liberation, that you can cut this cycle of birth and death. So it was the first time I heard from Mohanji, and it was such a relief to know that there is such thing there that we can reach, and also knowing that Guru like Mohanji is next to you and taking you there. It was this was I believe was biggest gift that Mohanji gave me, and also gifting himself, because he's giving himself to everyone, right? He's giving, it's not like he's giving himself to me only, and I think, oh, I am higher than others. No, it's not, there is no such thing. I see, as I told you, gave this example of this girl miles away from Mohanji in Iran, and she never met Mohanji physically, and I don't know when she will have the chance to meet him, but she's connected. So means that Mohanji is given himself, right? So then what is better than that? Having, even I cannot say someone, having his energy, his power, his presence with you wherever and anytime, that nobody else is there for you. And nobody else, even they may not, maybe they don't like to do anything for you, or they can't help you, because this happened to me when I came to US. Even people who would like to help me, they could not do anything. But now I have his energy, his presence with me, that can be felt and can help me even there is nobody's there. Even if nobody cares, I don't get disappointed. I don't feel I am alone, I don't feel he has my back always. He has my back always. So then it's like feeling, okay, I am fine.
Thank you, Elly. I know I mostly hogged up every minute of the time we had, but I still want to open it up just in case somebody wants to ask Elly anything. This is our good time to do that.
Yeah, sure.
Elly has just been with Mohanji now, you said, for 9 years, right?
Yeah.
A plethora of experiences. We can probably endlessly talk, and I have so much more I can ask, but I just wanted to make sure that if anybody has something, this is the time. Otherwise, I know it is late, and we could close the call. But any, Ellie, any words you would like to say?
Yeah, just one thing, because you mentioned about Maitri that happened through me for Mohanji. I just want to say something about that, because it's not like Mohanji needs any healing. It's not that, because sometimes this misunderstanding is happening that, oh, I am doing healing to Mohanji. Okay, where is the source of where is the source of Maitri? Source of Maitri is Mohanji's energy, right? So then it's a little bit, awkward that how come this is happening? First of all, this is His grace and His blessing for me and anybody else that has this opportunity. Probably because of the wish that we have to serve Him and like do something, even though it's not like we are doing anything for Him. Again, He is doing something for us. Secondly, it's like, through that, um, I was blessed to see what is the root of this ailment that we see in his body. It's not like he's getting sick because of like something. Maybe we see goats in his feet, but this is just some manifestation of something that he's taken to himself. So through these healings that happened through me, I just had that experience, that how much his ears hears everyone. He hears very well. It doesn't need we speak to him physically. He hears our heart, just not even us who are connected to him, who love him, meet him. It's not that. People that even don't know who is Mohanji at all, just they pray very purely from the heart. When they pray out of helplessness and just praying that, is there anybody there to hear? Mohanji is that much compassionate to hear these people and just run towards them and going and getting things from them. Like in 2022, when he came to Arizona, I am sure that you remember that Mohanji started coughing. Even he was coughing before, but he started coughing so hard, even he could not continue the satsang. So that time I was blessed to be there and for this healing. And then what I felt, it wasn't like not even very old, but like old lady who was diagnosed with very last stages of some ailment. And she was in hospital, and yeah, the doctor said they cannot do anything else for her, and she just need to be ready to go. And she was very disappointed, very frustrated, and she had so many beautiful wishes, so many desires that she wanted still to experience it. And she prayed. She prayed out of that helplessness, very purely from the heart, and Mohanji responded and took it to her, to himself. So Mohanji confirmed that. That's why I'm saying this. Otherwise, I don't dare to tell what I feel, and just based on what I felt, because always there is this risk that my mind plays there. But because Mohanji confirmed, because I told him and asked him, is it true? And he confirmed this. So I mean, even this healing is not like, oh, someone like this person is healing him. No, he doesn't need any of this. He, by purpose, taking things from other people. Like if you notice, when there is a satsang, he's coming, he started speaking, and then suddenly he started coughing and coughing, because he's just cleansing people, removing blockages. And I believe more we surrender, um, more things can happen. I'm very grateful. I should say this here, that I am very grateful to him that he healed my thyroid. I had for 20 years hypothyroidism. and he just touched it. So I wrote it in Gorolila 5. I suggest you to go and read the whole story there. He just touched it for few seconds and then it was gone. My doctor definitely was shocked and could not believe because my thyroid was working properly. And also I had an herniated neck disc, and which was giving me so much pain, so much pain. I was in pain constantly. Sometimes it was increasing even more. And then again, 2022, he came. He didn't touch, he didn't do anything. Just I see, okay, I don't have any pain. And I thought, okay, it is his energy, being in his physical energy, I don't feel any pain. But then even he left US, I see, okay, there is no pain. And then later I heard that he has some pain in neck. So I understood he took it into himself. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you, Ellie. That's quite powerful because I remember when we met in LA, and I think you had mentioned about the thyroid. So this is kind of fascinating for me also to hear firsthand from you. Well, this has been actually incredible. Maybe we should have a part two because I know there's so much more in you. Whenever I can convince you to come back. Um, but I think for now, if nobody else has anything to say or ask, I really want to thank you again, Ellie,
Thank
because I
you.
know this was meant to be your feeding time for the stray cats. So
They are waiting.
yeah, so I know I took more time than I had asked for, but again, thank you so much,
Thank
Ellie.
you.
Um,
Thank you, Rona. Thank you for inviting me. Thanks to the whole NCB USA team. Thank you for the opportunity.
And we will see you very soon because Mohanji is going to be here. Um,
Yes, yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah, we
lots
are
of
really excited. Lots of love to all of you, and thank you for the opportunity. Very grateful.